I'm sitting here with Kyle Burrows. Kyle, can you tell me a little bit about yourself and your football background?
Yeah, sure. I mean, yeah, like I said, my name is Kyle. I've come from the University of Birmingham. Played for a team there called the Birmingham Lions. Also played for like my local team around there called the Birmingham Bulls. Never actually heard of American football at all before I went to university, and I've always played like football, like soccer, football, and basketball, and athletics at school and high school and college. And then I went to university, and actually was going for the basketball team, but I was out in town and missed my bus and missed the trials because I had like a job interview. So I missed the trials to the basketball team, and that's when our basketball team was like doing really, really well, doing something called the BBL, which is like the British Basketball League. So I went just like the next training session and said, "Hey, coach, I've played before. This is where I've played. Played for like the City of Birmingham basketball team. I played with the Birmingham Bullets. Can I come and like try out at practice?" And he was just like, "No, sorry, you've missed your chance, missed your opportunity. Come back next year." And then kind of speaking to everyone at university before, that had gone before me, friends from work and things, they were saying, "Look, you need to join a sports team, it's really fun." And then I was walking around campus and we had like a sports fair, and I saw the American football stand. And I was kind of like intrigued, had a little look, and I was like, "Oh yeah, it seems alright, but it just kind of looks like rugby with helmets, like with pads and helmets, I don't really understand it." And then I looked to the left, and there was a cheerleading stand. And then the captain of the American football team at the time came over, was like, "Yeah, they come to all our games, go on all the socials together." I was like, "Right, where do I sign up?" So that's how I started. Completely new to the sport, knew absolutely nothing. It was really, really awful. Really awful at the start. Like I had good basic like athleticism from sports before, and then stayed with the team. Didn't really take it seriously, in all honesty, because I was always kind of like a backup. So I was on special teams. Actually played wide receiver my first year. Was a backup on wide receiver, and would play probably like a couple of minutes in the fourth quarter. But just being around the team, like I loved it. It was something completely different. Just until you've kind of experienced American football, just the team atmosphere and the camaraderie and the feeling of family that you get from it. That's what kept me around, even though like I wasn't completely interested in like the sporting aspect. And then because it's really different, it's very, very mental if you haven't played it before. So there's a lot of mental things going around. And then kind of into my second year, I started to understand the game more, like being able to be on the sidelines, going to classroom sessions. I was really lucky the way the Birmingham Lions is set up, because it's a really, really good organisation in terms of the coaches, the team structure, all the facilities that they do have. So even when you're kind of not fully aware of the game and all the integrals of it, you can still kind of pick it up as you're going along and, you know, really start to enjoy the sport. And then in my second year, that's when I really decided on myself. It was like, "Hey, look, I've got a couple of years at this. This is it." Because what do I want to do? Am I just happy kind of just being a backup, or do I actually want to like progress and try and become a starter? And it's like I took it upon myself and like, okay, now that I've tried this sport, I've enjoyed it, I really enjoy the people around it, I'm not just happy anymore just kind of like being a bystander and helping people out. I want to start making the way to get onto the team as a starter and make a name for myself. And started going to the gym properly. Started heading my playbook a hell of a lot more. Like I used to go to lectures and have my playbook at the side, and as the lecture was going on, I'm just in my playbook, learning the routes, and then kind of made a move from wide receiver to defensive end. As I started putting on some more size, one of the coaches saw me on kickoff, and I laid a hit on one of our biggest, fastest guys, and he was like, "Right, you belong on defense." So like he brought me over to defensive line, and ever since then. Started training with a guy called Wayne Hill, who in my eyes is the best American football coach in the UK. Very lucky basically from the start of my career at defensive end to be with him and having him coach me. Like there's no way I'd be the player that I am today or sitting here if it wasn't for him. So yeah, he coached me up right from the bottom. Literally didn't know anything, didn't know footwork, didn't know hand placement, didn't know your rips, and yeah, he coached me. And from there, just kind of took it step by step, practice by practice, game by game, never looked back. And then it's literally from just kind of walking along, seeing American football, seeing the stand, seeing the cheerleaders, I've gone from never known the sport existed in the UK, to playing for one of, if not the best university program in the UK. Then I was lucky enough to make the GB senior team in 2010 and travel to Frankfurt in Germany for the European Championships. Play against teams like France, Sweden, Finland in the Commerzbank Arena. That was a great, awesome opportunity for me. I absolutely loved it. And I just every chance that I could take to get better, learning from people that were around me. When I first went to like the GB camp, and I looked around and I was like, oh my god, everyone is huge, everyone is massive. Like I just thought, I'm not going to make this. Like there's no way. And like, I remember running over to my first drill and defensive line, and everyone was huge. And the defensive line coach at the time looked at me and went, "Playing D-line?" I was like, "Yeah, coach." He just went, "Need to get in the gym." And I was just kind of, yep, definitely need to get a little bit bigger. And just kind of took it from there and enjoyed every opportunity, and really made the most of what I could. Like the drills that I had, just always went 100%, and then kind of they saw the potential in me, and lucky enough I was able to beat out a number of people. For us, on the travelling squad, it was only like 55. I think there was like over 150, maybe 200 people go to the trials, and then we had those different trials and going over the year leading up to the championships. And it was just kind of waiting in for that email, waiting for that text, see if you made it to the next round. Finally did. We had a big camp before the selection to the travelling squad in London, and we played an American college called Centre College, and that was the first time that I lined up and I was like, you know what, I deserve to be here. Like I don't care if someone's been playing this game for 10 years and I've only been playing for 2 or 3. I'm going to beat someone out for this spot. That's the thing that American football's taught me. It's just kind of like ruthless determination. Always train, go for it, and never like kind of go and be like, see what happens. Like you're going to go for it full out. You want to go. You're going to know that you're better than the person next to you, even if like technically you're not. It's a mindset. It's a mind state, and that's one of the best things like American football's taught me. And then came back, and Euro players went a little bit crazy, but I was studying for my masters at the time, and we had conflicting arrangements with me doing my postgraduate study with my master's degree. Then there were a couple of teams in Germany, Dusseldorf Panthers, and like a few in Finland and Austria. And I just went, look, at this moment in time, it's not the right time for me to come over. I need to finish my master's degree, because your education is key. Like sport is something that very few people get to do professionally, and I'm very lucky that I can do it now. But at that time, I was one bad injury away from never playing sport again. So, like, I wanted to make sure that my education is set behind me, first and foremost. Then after that, I'm now at West Virginia University, having a great time. Currently studying a mechanical engineering postgraduate degree. I've got a full graduate scholarship, which I'm absolutely loving. Unfortunately, I'm ineligible to play for the college team because I've been to university. So my eligibility has actually run out. So at the moment, I am working with Dana Holgerson and Keith Patterson on the coaching side, trying to help out in any way that I can with W and just learn from a coaching point of view. Because I've played the game for around 4 or 5 years now, and there's still little things I'm always learning. It's a great thing to speak to so many different coaches, and when you think that you've kind of got things under wraps and that you know a lot, then you speak to another coach and it's just like, oh wow, you're constantly learning. And that's one of the things I love about American football. No matter how long you've been playing for, no matter how good you are, you can always learn something new. And then update my profile on Euro players, and was lucky enough to be able to come over to the AFC Show. And that's been my journey, from not knowing anything about American football to now sitting in Norway, in a beautiful country, being able to play professional football.
And the season has just ended. We're in late June. What would you say about your experience playing here?
My experience has been great, and I think that stems from what the show are doing here. from grassroots level, with your development team, with the junior team, and everything through in the background. The background setup is amazing. That's one of the biggest differences from UK senior football to how senior football is over here in Norway. It's the commitment and the structure of the league and every team in the back room. And I think in a few years' time, hopefully, UK football can kind of catch up. But from a backroom perspective, in senior football, it's just so much far ahead. Like, everything is run so professionally. It's really, really well thought out, really well structured, and everyone follows like the law to the letter. And I think that's one of the things that is key. And ever since stepping off the plane, another thing is I felt welcome. Like, the minute I stepped off the plane, I felt like I was a part of the team. I felt like I was a part of this show family. That's one of the really things I was looking out for when I came off. I mean, I've heard a few rumours from people that played over in Europe before, because it's my first time playing in Europe. Some teams, when they have import players, the players, react differently to imports. Over here, I've had nothing but open arms, nothing but smiles, nothing but welcomes. And from the players that are here, it's not like, oh, this guy's here to take my spot away from me or my position. It's, this guy's here to help the team get better. And everyone, no matter how old they are, how young they are, how athletically gifted they are, when I have something to say with regards to like coaching points, everyone just wants to listen. And that's one of the greatest things about it. Everyone wants to get better. And I think with how young the actual team is in regards to when you were set up, you've done remarkably with the coaches that you do have in place, and just kind of the team ethos that you do have, and everyone has really bought into the program, and it's been a joy to play for. I've kind of come a little bit late, so I missed a few of the games. So I kind of joined halfway through the season, and my first game was against Bergen. And being from the University of Birmingham, we don't really lose that many games. And it was kind of a weird situation to walk into my first game where we're already 0-3. And then to be losing at halftime 19-6. And like, I was just kind of like, no, we can do better than this. Like, we've trained. It doesn't matter how good they think they are or who they've got on their team. I know that this team right here, we can come forward and we can beat them. And it just kind of seemed like I knew that, but I didn't know if everyone else in the team knew that. So like, I was trying to pick up as many people as I can and be like, look, no way is this game over. And to look around and see everyone else have that same belief. And then to be able to go out, do an onside kick, recover the kick, and then just completely turn the game on its head and come out with a win. I mean, it was amazing. It was an absolutely amazing feeling, because I've never really been in that situation before, like being behind by a couple of touchdowns, and knowing that we can win, but I just don't know what's going wrong. I've never been in that situation, and for us to be able to like come together as a real good team, like as we've been training for like the couple of weeks that I was there before, it was a great feeling. And like after the game, it's one of the greatest feelings as a team that we actually came out with a win in that game that I've had in football, other than winning national championships.
Now the season has just ended. What's ahead for you?
For me, I'm actually living in West Virginia, so in July I'm actually going to go home, see my family that I haven't seen in a while, other than on Skype. See my family, see my friends. I've got a lot of things I need to do. I really need to get around England. There's a lot of people wanting to meet up and do a lot of things. So I've got around a 2-week period I'm going to try and cramp everybody into. And I need to take my dogs for a walk and all those as well. So I've really missed my dogs, actually. That's one of the big things I miss. I miss my dogs. I didn't think I will, because they're really annoying, but I actually have missed them. So I've got a lot of friends to see, a lot of family, and then I'm actually going back over to Morgantown to continue more work and more research.
All right. Well, thank you, and good luck.
Well, thank you very much.